All right. We've learned a bit about drums and rhythm. Very important, but probably overall the most important thing is to learn about the piano. Everything we do in music production on computers is based around the keys of the piano. The kick drum that you've been using is triggered by the note C1, the snare drum D1, the hi-hat G sharp 1. You need to know those notes. You need to know some basic music theory. So the first thing that I want you to do is just look at this keyboard and the things that I've written on it. What do you notice? What kind of visual observations can you make? Well, there's white keys and black keys. There's this pattern of 2 black keys and then 3 black keys and then 2 black keys and then 3 black keys. There are these hashtags or lowercase b's, otherwise known as the accidentals, the sharps and the flats. There is no sharp or flat between B and C or E and F. So there is no E sharp or F flat. There is no B sharp or C flat. And there's only 7 letters, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then it repeats over again, or at least from this way, from C to C to C. What does all this mean? Well, the white notes are called naturals. They are your A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And the black keys are the accidentals, the sharps and the flats. Does it matter if I refer to C sharp or say D flat? I'm going to go to the same note or the same potential note, depending on the octave. It really only matters when you're talking about more advanced music theory than we're going to be getting into. So say what you want to say, and we'll know that if I say G sharp, I should hit this key. If I say A flat, I should hit this key. An octave. An octave is essentially the same note, 8 steps apart, 8 natural steps, not including the black keys, the accidentals. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oct 8. So it's the same note. So for example, C and C. That high one is an octave above, but it is the same note. Let's see if I play a note. I'll play B, C, and B. You can tell those are not the same note. I'm playing 2 notes. They're the same. There's only 7 notes in the scale, 7 notes that we talked about, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. But when you get back to A, that's called an octave. What is a scale? A scale is a series of notes played in some pattern, in some order, in succession. Think melody. The 2 most important scales that we'll talk about are major and minor. And let's take a look at the next. Let's get through this as quickly as possible. Major scales are considered happy. And the C major scale is the easiest one to kind of visualize. It is all the white notes from C through B. Sounds like this. Oh, I actually hit the octave. So it's that do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Man, my voice is out. So when you get up to do, that's the octave. Do to do. So the major scale is all white keys. Now the minor scale, which is going to sound a little bit more sad, is C. Okay, where you have the flat third, the flat sixth, and the flat seventh. Really, when I say flat sixth, third, sixth, and seventh, it just means instead of E, it's E flat. Instead of A, it's A flat. Instead of B, it's B flat. Now, Am I going to make you memorize your scales? I'm not. Will you be more successful at making music if you did? Absolutely, 100%. And we might take some piano lessons, which is going to kind of have this more on the tip of your brain, on the tip of your tongue. A chord. So we talked about a scale. That's notes in a series, like, okay, in C major. It's not a scale, but it's a melody using the C major scale. A chord is a combination of notes played at the same time. So instead of like, one to the next, it's three at the same time. The most foundational kind of bass chord is called the triad. It's three notes. It's made up of the first step. So, for example, in C major, C, E, and G. And it sounds like this. Okay, that's the major triad. The minor triad is going to, actually I already talked about this, but you can visualize it here, where the first C, E, and G are the first, third, and fifth steps of the scale. And then if it's going to be minor, you take that third and you make it flat. It's the flat third. Sounds much more menacing, much sadder. Okay, remember, major, minor. Minor is sad sounding. And then a chord progression. A chord progression is a series of chords played in a particular order for particular lengths of time to make some music. And in this example, it is C7, which just adds the seventh to the C major triad, and F. Sounds like this. Oh, does not sound like that. Sounds like this. Looks like this in Pro Tools. Okay, that's about that.